What's up, YouTube? We're going to be doing a knife review here today on the Lucas Burnley collaboration with Boker, and this is the Kwaiken. This is a Blade HQ exclusive with the carbon fiber handle with a titanium bolster, and yeah, we'll get into it. So we're going to be going over kind of the pros as well as the cons, and yeah, we'll get right into it. So starting with the blade here. It's made of VG10 at right around 3.5 inches, and I absolutely love the look of this. The blade looks absolutely great. I like the amount of flat right here going into belly with not a really thin tip, but just enough to get you by with most normal day tasks. Yeah, it's also designed by Lucas Burnley, which happens to be one of my favorite knife designers. Here you can see the VG10 steel that it uses. And it also uses the IKBS bearing system. Sorry there. Yeah. As well, kind of moving on into the handle. It has some really good ergonomics. I kind of wear like a medium to large size gloves. And I have no problem fitting my hand on here, kind of choking up. I have a little bit in the back. And if I spread out, it covers up just about the whole thing. Really good flipper for the most part. I like how they added jimping on this exclusive version, and it really makes a difference having that jimping there to really catch your finger as you go with that, as well as it has a fairly light detent, so it's mostly push button, but I mean you can do light switch, but you just got to be a little bit more careful about it and really hook onto that jimping. And with that lighter detent, you can make it, only half come out and stuff like that, like pretty easily. Otherwise, I just love the aesthetics of this. It looks really appeasing. The clip is pretty good. You do have to lift it up a little bit to get it into the pocket because it doesn't have as much of a gap right here to get like jeans and stuff under. So I typically lift it up, but it sits really well in the pocket. Yeah, kind of moving into the bad. It is VG10, which isn't like a great steel, but I mean, it's just fine for everyday carry, but this being right around a 160 in price, VG10 could definitely be upgraded. I know they did put titanium handles and carbon fiber on it, but I do feel like VG10 could definitely be upgraded to an S30V or S35VN pretty easily, or even D2. Would be really good for the price. Another kind of bad thing in a way is the IKBS bearing system that it's on, as we can see here on the blade printing. It is a non-captive bearing system for people who don't know, and it means when you take this knife apart versus stuff with like a captive bearing, such as like this Benchmade or this ZT, it's going to be a lot harder to take this apart because all the bearings are in just a little row around the blade in a channel, and they can go willy-nilly and just run free as soon as you get this apart, which isn't great. It definitely could be improved upon, but it does lend itself for really, really good action, as you can see there. Really good push button, and it just about falls shut on its own weight. It's pretty good for smoothness. I mean, I really think it's pretty comparable to ZTs and stuff, having owned a couple. But definitely a really, really nice action. Getting into a couple of competitive offers at around the same price range, maybe a little bit lower. This was right around $160-ish, a little bit more. But the ZT 0450 also comes in at around the 160 range. And it has a full titanium frame lock with the S35VN. Really good flipping action. But I would definitely compare that to the Boker with its liner lock made of titanium everywhere. So it's also fairly light. That's another good thing that's kind of comparable with that knife. Another comparison is this Benchmade. One of Benchmade's kind of first non-axis lock knives. It's a liner lock. It has 154 cm, and you can find these for right around $120-ish. So that's a pretty good size comparison though, overall. Yeah, and kind of overall price comparative as well. But yeah, the Burnley is definitely a really good designer. I love him as a designer. He brings in really traditional things. Really popular, or did a really great job with this kwaiken design. And absolutely love it with the bolsters and everything. And yeah, I really like the design. I like the knife for the most part. If I had to give it a grade out of 10, I would say probably an 8 out of 10 overall. And I really enjoy it. It definitely gets a lot of pocket time, especially during the summer when you want a little bit lighter knife, but still want the kind of 3.5-inch blade. So definitely an awesome knife, and I hope you consider it, and hopefully this was a good review. Catch you guys later on YouTube.